Hello, this is Vance, and this is Tuesday, March the 17th, 2015. These are the CL trades for today using the slow hand method for price action. I had an unexpected situation yesterday, so I didn't do a report yesterday, a update. So I'm not going to skip it to yesterday. I'll talk a little bit about it. If anybody's interested, I can't go over it. I mean, I made some trades yesterday, but didn't get a chance to do the report because something came up. But today, price really opened at 43.84 in the overnight. We traded down and really traded within a $2 range today. And so just to kind of give you an overview of what happened, once price yesterday when price opened at 43, traded down to 42.61. Well, not quite 42.61, 42.62, traded back up toward the high or toward the opening price, came back down, made a retest of yesterday's low. Then price traded back up and really past the overnight. I think that we're going to be heading in that direction. Made a new high for the day at 44.20. And since that time, that was just after 1 o'clock, and since that time we've been trading off on thinner volume, I suppose, more than anything else. Really 2 o'clock, this is really since 2:30. This is where price closed, and you can see like since 2:30 it's been trading off. We're off, after the oil markets closed, we're off almost somewhere in the neighborhood of 80 cents since then. So this is a 2:30 price traded down. It's interesting to note that we've been trading a pretty narrow range right now. I'll take a look at the 1440 chart from last week. And as you recall, last week I was talking about where the bottom of this thing might be as far as the trading is concerned. And let me just kind of bring it over here and we'll take a look at it. Here's the 1440 chart, daily chart. And you can see that, let me just kind of stretch it out a bit. Here we have, like, for the last few sessions, I mean, prior to last week, price was trading between this range. Let's say talk a range from 48.45 to, let's call it $53. So basically, this $8 range traded up and down over the course of the previous, since the beginning of the year or end of January, let's put it. And yet now, last 5-6 sessions we've had, price has been trending down, and so it's already broken the low that we've had that we had established for some time. And right now the price of oil at $42 or below, at $42.78 or in this area below $43 is the lowest it's been in over 6 years. And so it's a pretty low price. A number of reasons for it. There's a glut of oil in the markets, economic slowdown in China, and India not using as much oil. There's some other places that have brought oil online, and of course the new technology that's allowed more drilling and so forth in the United States and in Canada. So the United States is producing more oil today than it has in a very long time. So that's bringing the price down as well. But it really makes no difference. I mean, as far as movement is concerned, adapting to looking at a price action on a day-by-day basis is basically the same. Doesn't matter what price is, $42 or $82 or $102. News does have an influence on it in the short term. Right now, the sentiment is decidedly negative, keeping prices at these low levels. But tomorrow's the DOE report, so we'll see how that transpires. I mean, if we have, my sense is that if we have, somewhat, right now it appears that there's still more oil being produced, and now we're coming up against storage problems because there's not enough storage for all the oil that is being produced. So wells are being shut in. There's already been cutbacks in various areas of the world because of the expense of drilling for oil. China made an announcement. I was looking at The Economist talking about oil prices there and what the cost of producing oil is there, and really they need $50 in oil. Just doesn't cut it, either in China or anywhere else. Basically, maybe in the Middle East because it's less expensive to produce, but anywhere else, $50 in oil will result in lots more wells being shut in, and that's what we've experienced in Canada. In Western Canada right now, there is absolutely no drilling taking place. Most drilling programs have been curtailed. Oil sands has been cut back. People have been laid off because they can't make money at $50 a barrel oil in Canada. It just does not happen. So it's got to be cut back. And inevitably what will happen, if we have the same level of use with no more production, that oil is going to be used up. Whether it's going to happen in the next 6 months, I don't know. It's always into the future. You have to check that out. Anyway, that's just a general overview. Let's talk about the movement today. And so we were trading, as I said earlier, between 44.20, and right now we're at the low at 43 after the closure of 42.61, but really up to 2.30 it was at 43.50, let's say. So price traded down, traded up, and we met a couple of these channels. So let's talk about measured moves and how the market really responded to that. So in the overnight, right at about 8 o'clock, price had traded down to the original low and came up. Now, really the first trade that I saw was really at just after 8:30, and what I mean by that is that price had traded down. We already had a kind of a measure move here. Price traded down to here and then moved down to here, kind of plateaued. We had a bit of a pullback, went to a new low right to this area, and this is where price came back when it broke this channel. Like right here, and the way I drew this one is that I put it off the bottoms because it's kind of hard to take it off here. I drew it down to the bottom, I duplicated it, I moved it up to here, and you can see price broke this channel, and now you can see that when price made this low, it came up, pulled back the first time, attempted to go down the second time, and this is really kind of a trap. Now it's an aggressive trade, looking to see making this top up here, like just to see this double top. You can see the double top. Prices went up here, pulled back, went up again, pulled back. So we had this hesitation. Price moved out, even a test on this one. Price moved back down there. So I'm thinking that we're going to have maybe at least a room to get this out before, if it continues to turn down. So we had this price, a bit of a trap. Price did move it to your 15 ticks up. So your first contracts get off, pulls up to here, pulls back the first time, pulls back the second time, and another opportunity again. Now it's a strong bar. I'm thinking that's really going to test maybe this area, like these double tops here, and it really kind of, once it got there, you can see the hesitation that had happened. Two pullbacks, price makes a new high on this move up, and the reason I thought about that is because I looked at this as a measured move. So if I see the measured move up here, and just say take this, a move within a move, we're up to this area, the first pullback, second pullback, so I thought there was still some room. And so when price got up to this area, pulls back the first time, pulls back the second time, and you think that this is another move within a move, right to here, price moves up, first pullback, fails, second breaks the channel to a new low, a very strong bar, got room to get out, and so this was a pretty decent move. Now, right up here, this is really a second entry short. Price moves up, pulls back, pulls up, and then fails here. But this move is pretty hard to get in. I mean, you could say that maybe it was a test of the daily, this daily price right here. Got to some resistance. Get some sell stops right in this area. Drove price down pretty hard, and you can see, but it just really failed down. So this is the area. When you look at, I draw a line right across here to see how price responds when it gets back down to where this previous move started to take place. And when it does get down here, you can see this hesitation. Now, why don't I look going long here? Well, I considered it. Consider going long down here. The problem is that you can see this overlap. You can see a strong bar completed here, but because it's coming out of this overlap, and because it hasn't broken this channel, and really having a real definite break, I'm thinking also that we may have another measured move. And so that measured move, once it's broken, we have the pullback, and you see this hesitation here. So we're thinking that maybe we're going to, at some point in time, like make a move down to this area to retest the yesterday's high or the overnight low. And so I mark this as a short in green. Now it's an more of an aggressive trade because it is a long bar. It's more that you have to kind of limit in on this one. But again, you're saying that we've only had the single break, maybe be test to a new low, and in fact, it would have worked out. So the positives are it's a pretty strong bar. It hasn't broken the EMA. It's going to retest this area here, maybe enough room to get out to this area right here, or this level, 43.10, if you depending on where you entered in. So you've got a little room to get out to this area. Problem is that with this rapid move, how much further is it going to go down? And these are pretty strong. This is a fairly strong bar up, and so it's really a quick trade. That's why I marked it in green. It's more of an aggressive kind of stance to sell into this area as it was developing. You had to see what was going on. But then price dropped into this range. And when price drops into this range, you see these pullbacks. Instead of being a real unbroken move down this way, like this one, what happened is that we had this strong bar, but then we started to really pull back, this hesitation. Price was starting to move sideways. And now when you see this kind of thing, this back and forth action, then you have pullbacks like this, it really to me is an indication that we're probably moving into a tight range and price is looking at moving higher, maybe retesting this area here. So that's why I looked at these trades. Now, this is a second entry long right here, but I didn't really like this setup, and there's not a lot of room to get out to this top here. But when price went here, first entry, second entry down to this area. Now, this would have worked had you bought this, but it only worked on this one. For this bar, if you get in on this trade right at 43.09, it tops out at 43.19. So it's only 10 ticks. And so we're looking at 15 ticks. Now, it did move the other 15 ticks, the other 5 ticks up to here. In fact, there was enough room to get out had you moved in here. But you don't know that going in. So I waited on this trade. So pulls back the first time, fails, pulled down to here. Now, this trade, this one right here, this is a trap, and you can see that prices, there's got resistance of it going any much lower. When it does go lower and springs out of here, I think this is a limited order here. You're below what it's tested to a new low off of this range. You've got the first pullback, you've got first move down, pulls back twice. Let me just show you that too. This measured move, it's a smaller measured move. You can see price move down to here. We had this first pullback, second pullback, and then down to here. So this was a reasonable trade to take it. I'm not sure. And again, I marked it green. Now you getting here your 15 ticks. It pulls back again, and then just another opportunity to get in from off of this one. So you can look at it two ways. Not only is this second entry long here, but you say this is the first move down, second move down, and it looks like support to me. That's why I'm not looking short on this area. It doesn't really look like it. It looks like price has really got more hesitation for going lower than hesitation for going higher, because you can see it's testing, pulls back fairly quickly, and these instead of capitulating at this area, it really is rapidly dropping down. Sense is that there's maybe some sell signals, and there's some sellers selling rapidly, but they couldn't keep it down. They couldn't keep the momentum up to continue to go lower. Now, when price gets down to this level, like I had more confidence with it going long, and you can see. Let me just make this a little bit bigger. You can see that price. There's more hesitation down here, so price moves up, pulls back, moves up to this one, pulls back again, and pretty strong bar. Now, I like this trade because, again, I'm saying that there's capitulation at this level. There's room to get out, almost room to get out. Not quite 15 ticks, but I'm thinking that maybe the testing is going to be more along this lines right up here. That's where I was thinking of with this movement. And you can see that when price did get to this area, there was some hesitation, but it went out here very rapidly. You see even here jumped. You can see that there's it kind of skipped right in this area. Price moved up more rapidly. First pullback fails. Second pullback, another way to get in. And now I'm looking for a measured move. And you can see that price broke to at least retest this area like the open price. So I'm pretty confident in this one, even though you've got these lines here, because even though price pulls back down this level, hesitation can't drive any further down, and this is a bit of a trap too. So getting in on this, keeping your stop below this, limiting in, is really it's an aggressive trade. That's why I marked it. But if you can keep limiting and keep your stop below this area, that would be a great trade here. And when it hesitates, keeping your stop below this one, limiting it in, gives you enough opportunity to get out. So I'm looking for longs up until that point. So until it tells you it's no longer long. Okay. So that's what I was looking at for this one. Now, when price moves up, again, we have the first pullback, second pullback. You could take this trade. I could see that a person could take this one. Again, we have the first pullback, second pullback to this area. But we're above where the opening price is and maybe losing stuff. I should mark it. I'll mark it anyway. Let me mark that one. Now that I look at it. I didn't take that trade. I'll tell you what I did. I was in here pretty early off of this one. When price moved up to this area, I added one more. I was just a single contract. I added another contract, which moved my price up to about 43 and change. And when it got close to here, I was able to close them out, which was a pretty decent trade. That was really that did for me. I wasn't really trading after that, but you look at this is 1 o'clock. Prices came down here, and you can see that there's hesitation. Really no place to get in here. You might have taken this trade again off of this one, but again, to retest this area, but you can run out of steam. So this is maybe a trade that you would have taken. Like I said, I wasn't trading, so I didn't really look at this one, but this certainly would fit in. So you have a first pullback, second pullback. The problem with this one, though, is because of this really strong move down, we might just fail off of this and move down. And that's essentially what it did, because now the measured move, when it got to this area, second entry short here, didn't quite test this overnight, didn't quite test the daily high, and then sold off from here. Again, price pulls back, attempts. This is like a fairly tight trading range. Price moves up. Now you can see this is the rest of the day, and this is where we are right now. So what it really amounted to is that kind of a more than anything a range day. And what I mean by range day is that price traded up, between this range, between the high, pulled back. And you can see that it tested these other areas. Certainly, this was the way to get in, like going long from off of this one. Didn't really give you an opportunity here, but you can see that this capitulation here really resulted in prices consolidating and then having a platform and just to move higher. So that's pretty much it. That's the way I saw it today. If you have any questions, just let me know. And hope you had a good day. If not, there's always tomorrow. This is Vance. Bye for now.